everybody. It's Cameron Jones here. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Here with my co-host, as always,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Bones.
Oh, nice. We're really feeling...
Finally.
We're feeling the Halloween
come on,
spirit
man.
now. Cameron
Yeah.
Bones here. This is the end of our Halloween season. But, you know, we always throw in a spooky movie here and there throughout the year, so never fear. We'll be back. But we're doing it with the 1988 film, Child's Play. Gunned down by Detective Mike Norris, dying murderer Charles Lee Ray uses black magic to put his soul inside a doll named Chucky. When a single parent buys the sought-after doll for her son Andy on his birthday, she has no idea that it is actually a living nightmare. Will this mother and son survive a maniacal knife-wielding doll? Child's Play.
Directed by Tom Holland.
Not that Tom Holland.
Not that Tom Holland. No. Starring Catherine Hicks, Chris Sarandon, Alex Vincent, Brad Dourif, and Dinah Manoff.
You know, the first one's kind of scary, but there are campy, funny moments. There's funny moments, but the first one's still good. First two, three.
It's giving creepy Cabbage Patch Kid vibes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. I'm gonna kill you, you stupid son of a bitch.
Always thought it was Chucky.
Yeah, I didn't. Let's just call it Chucky 1.
Child's Play. Cast and crew. This movie's directed by Tom Holland. No, not that Tom Holland, Jordan.
Not that one. He wasn't even born yet.
Actually, he hasn't done a lot. He's done some like horror stuff. It looks like in like the 80s and 90s. The only other thing I think maybe this is the only thing he's directed that's notable. He was a writer for Fright Night though.
Okay.
Okay.
And in Psycho 2, he's Deputy Norris. I'm reading here.
Interesting.
But that's all that's really notable.
I want every horror movie director to be like, oh, they were the artistic director for this other classic horror film, and they went on to make this one you love. And that happens a lot, but
True. Well,
not Tom Holland.
If nothing else, you usually get him in another scary movie, so there it is.
Yeah, this is the opposite end of the spectrum as far as like the web of Tim Burton. So, story by Dan Mancini, and music by John Renzetti. So, a couple Italians for you. Gabagool. They put the ghoul in Gabagool.
I'm gonna pass. Can we talk about Italians?
Yeah,
I'm just pass.
So.
Pass.
All right, onto the cast. No music by John Renzetti. He didn't really do anything else. Catherine Hicks plays the mom, Karen Barkley.
I have it on good authority from my wife that she's the mom from Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, that is
and
correct.
I said, "Isn't Seventh Heaven lame?" And she's like, "Yes, it is," and she's in it.
It looks like she's in a lot of like TV Hallmark type of movies. Probably just
that
as
makes
the mom.
sense.
Yeah, that seems
That
right.
makes sense.
I feel like I've seen her in other things. And then she's in shout out Denise Jones. She's in Star Trek 4.
Oh. Are we talking
Maybe so.
Are we talking old Star Trek? Or are we talking TNG Next Generation, Mark?
Pretty sure old Star Trek.
Okay,
And
little
Denise
lesser jam, but
correct us if we're wrong.
Nah, to me, if she's in a movie from '88, it has to be TNG.
that would make sense.
Wouldn't you think?
True.
Anyway, hit us up. Let us know, or don't.
1986. So what would that be?
That's got to be TNG, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Maybe not though.
It was
Maybe
late
not
80s,
though.
early 90s.
We've got Jack Skellington in this movie. Chris Sarandon plays the cop.
2 in a row for you. Keep it. We're keeping themes even if the crew isn't.
You're also gonna know him as Prince Humperdinck from Princess Bride,
Back in Sarah Princess Bride episode.
and he's also the main vampire in Fright Night.
True.
Did we talk about that? Damn, is he really? Because I don't know if we talked about that in Nightmare.
No, I think we skipped
Before
over that just because he's barely
That's
part
fair.
of that really.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Vincent is the kid. Andy Barclay, sorry. He's in the second one.
Yeah, I just know him as
Second
I know
Child's
him as
Play.
the Child's Play kid. I'm not sure if he's done anything else.
I think he comes back for the Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, the newer one.
Oh yeah, you always get cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad Dourif plays, I believe, just the voice of Chucky.
He's also the guy at the beginning. He is the man. Right?
Oh, that makes sense.
But
That
you
makes
would
sense.
also know him from the guy at the gas station that stutters in Urban Legend. That was his cameo there.
She's
the back seat. Same guy. We
Go back and listen to or re-listen to our.
we really didn't give
Urban-
him cred at the time, other than listing his cameo of that. But hey, who would have thought we'd do him twice in our Halloween season?
Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings: Two Towers.
Oh,
Saw that.
Sure is.
Don't
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yep. And then really the last, I'll do a couple other ones, but the Aunt Maggie, they call her Maggie. She's Marty in Grease. Dina Manoff.
Oh, she sure is. Now, okay.
Yep.
I would not have recognized it at all.
Go back
but
and
She's older for sure. She's like 10 years older or whatever.
Go back and take a listen to our Grease episode. I think we did that recently. Wow, we're really tallying them up.
Oh, and then the boss at the whatever department store that she works at.
That guy seemed familiar. Who's that?
He is the Scranton ticket agent in Home Alone.
Oh, okay. So,
Alan
super similar role.
I can picture that guy so vividly now that I know it to be true. I know exactly. I looked at Megan when we were watching this, and I go, listen, I may not be the best looking thing or the most manly looking person in the world, but I know that if I went for a casting call, they wouldn't all look like that guy. They'd be surrounded by like schlubby guys looking like me, but not that guy.
That wraps it up.
Go back and listen to. We did Home Alone, right?
Yeah, last Christmas, I believe.
Go back and listen to our Home Alone episode.
A little tighter of a cast and crew than we usually do, which is nice. So let's just move it on to Unverified. Welcome to Cold Classic Movie Phone. It's November 9th, 1988, and currently in theaters this month, you could have seen Purple People Eater with Ned Beatty.
I do so love Ned Beatty.
I thought you'd like that one. John Carpenter's They Live. Go back and see how They Live.
Oh, yeah, we did do They Live.
Sure did. Cocoon, The Return. So the sequel to Cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
Scrooged came out that November.
Nice.
This is more for the Jones family, but Garfield's 9 Lives. It was a weird thing with Garfield, like in Egypt, and just different shorts as different cats, too. It was weird, but we had it on
theaters.
VHS. Maybe.
Okay.
The Land Before Time, the first one.
Nice, solid.
Out that November.
We'll always be together.
Sad.
Right?
And they were for a million more movies. It wasn't a lie.
Yeah, but not their moms, not their dads.
True.
They became the moms and dads, but not theirs. Not their moms and dads.
Oliver and Company.
Ooh, love that movie.
And Ernest Saves Christmas. But you chose Child's Play.
So this was a November 9th, 1988 release. But you got to assume that this isn't necessarily a Halloween movie set at Halloween, but you get to sell Chucky dolls at Christmas now.
That's true. You do get that.
Marketing, like you said. Yep.
Marketing.
Chucky's full name.
Merchandise.
Chucky's full name, Charles Lee Ray, is derived from names of notorious killers. So they took Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and then James Earl Ray, who killed Martin Luther King.
Okay, let's take those three and just do F, Marry, Kill. Go. No, I'm joking.
I'm going to fuck Robert Elin.
Definitely Charles Manson's the one I'm boning, because he was a hippy dippy trippy guy, although he might smell funny.
That's true. I don't know the other one, so I guess
they had to pick some common names, right? Because you couldn't just have Charles Lee Dahmer. You couldn't just.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There was a My Buddy doll that was kind of released. That was already a doll. It wasn't really. I don't think this doll was based around it, but they just tanked. Sales tanked after this because it just was.
It was based off the My Buddy doll, but because in fact one of the original working names was Bloody Buddy, but they couldn't get the copyright for it, so it is a knockoff of that doll, but they just never could get the actual trademark copyright tie-in for it, and it killed the sales of that doll because of it after this movie. Yeah, but that's a terrifying looking doll. So was it the movie? Probably, but
There's one more. There was another working title they had. It was called Batteries Not Included.
Oh, I saw that one. I kind of like that one.
Interesting. That would have worked too. I mean, Chucky or Child's Play works just as well. The reason they went away from that is because at the time, Steven Spielberg was making a film also called Batteries Not Included.
Factual. Well,
I don't know what that became, but Steven Spielberg wins.
Yeah, is that a Spielberg movie?
I don't know what it would
I
be.
don't know of.
It's good that the American Girl dolls are still doing well. It seems they've got brick and mortar.
Yeah, they might be if they go online. Malls in America will disappear.
On-set romance. Catherine Hicks, who plays Karen, and Kevin Yeager, the Chucky creator, met on set and were married a year later.
Oh, nice little
which
on-set romance.
Who and who? The mom
and the creator, Chucky's creator, Kevin Yeager.
Oh, there's something I read. I didn't write it down, but it was something like the creator of Chucky and the voice of Chucky never met until 2018 or something like that. Do you guys have that written down?
Oh yeah, I actually do have
like
that
a Comic-Con or something.
Yeah. So it's this. So voice actor Brad Dourif and special effects wizard Kevin Yeager, who ended up marrying the mother, never met in person until 2018 at a horror convention.
That's because Brad Dourif, they recorded the voiceover before the film to better match the doll's mouth to his voiceover. So he wasn't on set. Good gig for him.
Live action beginning.
Yeah, the live action beginning, which I'm excited to get to in a little bit. I don't know if this is accurate, but it's kind of fun. The release date of the film, November 9th, is the same day that Charles Lee, the character, sends his soul into Chucky in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, nice. That's a nice tie-in.
Also, could be completely makeup. You know what I mean?
So the movie was.
I didn't see a date. Did you see November 9th on the screen?
No, I didn't know where.
Super unverified.
Probably during the news stuff at the beginning. Just,
oh yeah, maybe. Yeah,
that's true.
So the movie used to be darker. In fact, the original runtime was closer to 2.5, 3 hours, and there was a shit ton cut out. But an original plot to the movie that never actually made it to filming was that the good guy dolls were going to have like latex skin and real blood on the inside, and the concept of the movie was going to be that Andy gets cut, and so does his Chucky doll, and their blood's mixing, becomes like an evil Chucky doll.
Oh, they made like a Blood Brothers pack.
Yeah, it was, and that's why it was going to be called like Bloody Buddy or something like that too.
Buddy.
But the whole magic was going to be this weird blood anima, like the doll that morphed with the human blood and became a living doll. But they moved away from that.
Really moved away. A lot to fit in. Would have been a lot. Well, that'd be
again 3-hour movie down to like hour and a half. So.
They made the right call, I think. Oh, here's a good one. Charles Lee Ray's uses a Smith & Wesson Model 19 snub nose at the beginning of the film. There you go. Huh. How about that?
I always love coming across those ones like the
Cameron, you were like, I'm not sure if it is a snub nose, but it is. It was.
Thanks, Jordan.
Like they always just like the truck that Maggie fell on was a Dodge Durango.
Great.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, cool.
Who gives a fuck?
I got a couple of those.
Kind of just also on like different plot
ideas. It was a
ideas.
1985 Ford LT Crown Victoria. That's what Mike drove.
Thanks, bud.
Okay.
Also, just kind of on to different like plot ideas they were toying with, and we do get this, but they were going to keep the suspense longer, kind of like a Friday the 13th thing of is Andy actually the killer or is it the doll? But I mean, midway through the movie, we find out pretty quick. But originally, it was going to be more of a suspense thriller, kind of with that. Yeah,
I could have liked that a little more because.
I like when they start with that leaning in kind of. It's spooky still. You don't know.
They get rid of it pretty quick, yeah.
This is specifically for Chris Reimer. The toy shop used in the opening scene was actually a Chinese restaurant that closed down in Chicago on the corner of Wabash and Van Buren. Chris Sarandon even says the name of the street corner when calling it. That's actually just the location.
I didn't realize rewatching this, like all of the Chicago isms. Like it's like even the cop cars.
I definitely forgot it was set in Chicago because it's been so long since I've seen it. And then right off the bat, they're like Van Buren
and Wabash. I'm like, oh
Wabash.
shit!
You see, the L right away. Also, their apartment building is Landmark Brewster building. It's still in Chicago. It was also there's a bunch of other movies it's been in, but I just don't feel like going.
Cool
through that.
Elevator system, no.
I think Chris did some research, and that is not the interior of the building. That is a different place. But I'm unverified.
Never seen something like that. Very cool. Very cool.
How many days do you think this story takes place in?
Seems like a week.
3 days. The story takes place over 3 days. For some reason, just because the psychiatry, I feel like it was
I assumed he was in there for a week. That's what I would guess.
But nope, just 3 days. It's a very quick story.
Tight little story.
The last thing I have, because I always like these kind of fucked up ones, the scene where they're getting Andy to cry that the doll's going to kill him. I would say that's a pretty good performance in it. Like,
agreed.
There's a couple times the kid actually has really good reactions, and I'll get to it later, but they got him to do that by telling him, you need to think of something really sad. Think about your parents dying. So that's how they got the performance out of him. That's that kid thinking about his parents dying.
Oh, God.
And that's all I had for Unverified. You guys have anything else?
No, that's all I had.
Nah, that's it. It was a Crown Victoria, though.
On that cheery note, we'll move it on to questions,
comments,
animosities.
Questions, comments, animosity.
Love a Chicago-based movie. I mean, we were just kind of ended on it, but love seeing all the landmarks and stuff, and especially stuff we can just bump into. It's always fun when you're in the city the film's made in.
As someone who, recently moved from the city, I just miss all the hobo fires under the tracks, all the fucking shootouts on Wabash and Van Buren.
This was dangerous 80s downtown Chicago, though. It was actually probably a fairish depiction.
Yeah, I think the whole South Loop was pretty bad in the 80s from what I've heard or what I understand.
Yeah,
but it did make me miss Chicago. I'm like, oh yeah, Chicago. You seen the Brewster Building? Hell yeah.
The classic Brewster Building.
I think I knew somebody that lived there, got like a crazy steal. It was like a historic place, but he had like a huge apartment. Nice. Oh, speaking of huge apartments, here's my first question to Animosity. Karen, the mom, she's working just a retail job.
Yeah.
She's got like a 7-bedroom apartment. And maybe it's in a bad neck of the woods.
I mentioned that too. It's like that's actually a pretty good place for the single mom and Andy. That's not too bad. I don't know what rent was.
In my head, I hoped it was the most dangerous place outside because she shouldn't be able to.
What happened to the dad?
Place.
Maybe he had good life insurance or something.
Don't think they mentioned if he's gone or dead.
He's in heaven.
Oh.
Andy refers to Chucky told me something. He told me from heaven.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she's sitting on a nest egg.
But I don't know if that's like a Forrest Gump. He's on vacation or he really is in heaven and got,
Went to grab a pack of cigs and some milk and never came back.
Yeah.
So Animosity, we're saying that Charles Lee Ray knows dark magic and he's just pulling low crime heists and stuff. Like, if he's powerful enough to do this, like, what's he doing,
I don't think he knows it, but I think he learned it, and I guess it worked.
Okay, so it was just a last-ditch effort. How, for being, a weird, crazy, what was this guy doing trying to learn, can you imagine this guy just sitting trying to learn black magic in some sort of, voodoo hut?
So that was a little confusing. Did he learn it while in the penitentiary, or did he just have
he was just having,
he befriended this guy.
He just had a shaman, a mentor, and it was...
Yeah, just like a weird cult thing. That guy was teaching him life after death, black
Maybe
magic.
Maybe in Cabrini Green. This could have just been Candyman.
Yeah, really, honestly, same setting.
That's what it
Maybe
like.
it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same.
Candyman's a Chicago one, right?
Yeah.
I got a question. So he has no supernatural powers before he transfers his soul into Chucky?
Yeah.
How many times did he get shot? Like 20?
Well,
20
they
times?
do mention that, though, that in the beginning, he's just a doll, but he's slowly becoming more human-like.
Human,
and that's
right.
Oh, no. I'm saying before he transferred his soul. In that 20-minute
Charles
shootout.
Lee Ray?
Yeah, he gets shot quite a bit of times.
Definitely in the arm, definitely in the stomach.
I'll call back another Chicago movie. The only one I've seen more and somebody lived longer was Sean Connery in The Untouchables. That motherfucker wouldn't quit. You got to make the phone call if you got to make the phone call.
Go back and see our Untouchables.
Was there ever a Lakeshore Strangler? Is that a thing?
No, I think they were just doing. There was a tie into the Hillside Stranglers, what they were basing him off of, is what I heard. California-based Stranglers.
I will say when the cops later informed us that what's his name,
Charles Lee Ray.
When Charles Lee Ray was he just
Chucky.
a lakeside? When Chucky was just a strangler,
sounds
like
a
that's
blues
it.
artist, Charles Lee Ray.
Charles Lee Ray does.
I've heard
like
his music before.
I
thought it was underwhelming that he was just the lakeside or lakeshore strangler. I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's not what I pictured.
Yep, just a good old strangler.
Adding strangler to a name is cool, right?
Well,
if you were a serial killer. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Let me explain myself.
Cameron Jones, the Polson Strangler. Yeah.
Well, it's not right. Well, don't tell people where I live.
Oh yeah, take that out. Sorry, I'm bad at
you
that.
said
We got to take all those out.
It's not where I live anyway. Animosity question: how did that homeless guy get that crime scene evidence? If it is the doll that Charles Lee Ray was wiping his bloody hand all over, that's in lockup. You can't just have the incinerated or just got it from a dump.
Also, it just wasn't damaged, and did the shop rebox it and attempt to resell it?
He does say he just got it from a burnt out toy store, but
right.
I think at least all the stuff covered in blood should maybe be taken in. The thing he
took it out of the box. Someone had to put that bloody doll back in the box to maybe try to resell.
It was the homeless guy.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I think we're ignoring the fact that that building blew up and the only things that were unharmed was the Chucky doll and then the cop. He was
maybe
unscathed.
Maybe a little magic for the doll. You assume it's magic lightning, maybe a little bit.
That's true. I do believe they said the longer you're Chucky, the more human you become. So maybe at that point he was full Voodoo doll safe. I don't know.
Which is why we get the fun hairline receding and the creepier face as he, goes on.
Oh, I didn't notice that till now. His hairline was receding.
Slowly
right?
turns into Charles Lee face, kind of. It transforms a bit.
Okay, that's it.
So eventually, there was a part when he was trying to find something to put his soul into, right? And he's just like, I gotta find someone.
A body. I need a body.
So we were all confused, right?
Who was he gonna find? Eddie?
I mean, yeah.
Who was he gonna find to agree to this?
Well, or just you hold them down, you put your hand over their forehead, and you say your gibberish spell.
He could have found. Imagine if he found like a troll doll or like a Tonka truck instead.
Oh, a troll doll would have been cool. Could you imagine the licensings on that? Oh, so sweet in 1988. That would have been awesome.
So, like another question too. So like the rules of this, like to get out of his body, he has to tell the first person he told about it. So like, are you saying if I just like was in Jordan's body, not a doll, but I told Mark, the only way out of Jordan's body is if I go to Mark, and then I can just keep body hopping like that? Or is this
body hop?
Yeah, or is this only I
hop.
put myself in an inanimate object and I need to get into a real body?
No, I think he was searching for a real body. And then it just ended up being the doll. He was like, I guess I'll try this.
He went on a big limb there, just assuming that this would work.
I'd go for maybe a mannequin. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it was a toy store. There's not a lot around. You're right.
I'd say it'd be easier to get around as a toy doll than a mannequin. Not much you can do as a mannequin.
That's true. I mean, late at night,
you can't sneak around. Within the store.
Yeah, is what you're relegated.
Yeah, you'd
to.
have a lot of store time fun, but you can't go out on the streets.
Comment: I don't care what decade it is. Chucky is a terrifying doll. The buddy thing is terrifying.
Scary doll.
Did you see all the kids at school? Like, there's got to be a rule against that. You can't just bring your buddy doll into school.
Big animosity against that. One, the school is going to put like a ban on that because people are going to start getting them stolen. They're starting to get damaged. And number two, if I'm that mom and money's tight and I just bought this doll, it's staying at home, especially if I'm a little freaked out by it at night.
Plus, we don't know how that kid gets to school, but it looks like the CTA, that ain't going to make it to school.
Oh, he is the most resourceful child
She's
ever.
not dropping him off, right?
I think she...
I don't care.
Of her dropping him off at the beginning, maybe.
Okay. I don't care how many possessed dolls whispered to me at 9 or 7 years old. I'm not going to be able to take the train and get off and take you to a building and a location. See, man, those city kids are tough.
I know Chucky's helping him, but does Andy just have money to ride the CTA? Chucky doesn't.
I was curious about that too, and no one, I guess,
I don't know how the CTA works
about
back.
That. 6-year-olds alone.
Just off-screen, Chucky killed a CTA worker.
Well, especially from like the dangerous neighborhood this 6-year-old's going, and no one's going to be like, "Hey, kid, what are you doing?"
Oh, he's getting off at 68th. No one's going to care.
Yeah. Funny enough, I had a different take on it, Jordan. I've just been Team B long enough that I, for everyone else, inside baseball, that's me. Like, if people are going out on a beer run, Team B. I'll stay back and I'll guard the house. But even as a kid, I think of a magical doll. It was like, Cameron, let's go on an adventure. All we have to do is ride the train to... Oh, I don't want to go. We have to ride the train. We have to go
Just tell me how it was.
Yeah.
I can tell you what, though, as someone, and this may be sad to say, I think... if you saw a lost kid, you should probably take care of him, blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. But if you see a kid with a scary doll, you're like, I'm just not going to worry about that. I'm on my way to work. It's not my problem.
True. You don't
I assume that somebody's
as a Team A guy, you gotta confront the kid, get him home.
You got to be like, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm Team B. I've survived.
Where'd you get this doll?
If Cameron survives, I die. Sometimes it pays to be Team B.
Yeah, you would take him to that dilapidated house and blow up with the rest of them and all those 200 rats. I got this question about squalor. About living in squalor. Listen, I'm not here to judge.
Eddie, his companion. I think it's Eddie.
This is Chucky's companion, right? They did crimes together, and he's going to go and create vengeance or something. He might have ratted on him.
No, he drove away without him at the very beginning.
Yeah. He ditched him.
Oh, so were all the rats to be like, he is a rat? Like, this is no good?
It's a Rat King situation. I mean, my comment on it is just animosity. I can't fall asleep anywhere seeing one rat comfortably out in the open, let alone at least 10 living comfortably with me.
It's a rat
side by side.
You gotta get rid of some of those rats. That's just uncalled for.
Like, you're on the run.
If you haven't seen the movie for a while, you definitely know what scene we're talking about. Can I go back to the beginning of the movie?
Just real quick about the rats.
The
Chicago was voted the most rattiest city, like for 8 years in a row now.
Yeah, more than New York.
Pretty ratty. Yeah.
I think ours is because ours are out mixing it up, and New York's are all in their subway system.
That's fair. Ours are out and bold.
I do believe last year Chicago released a bunch of domesticated cats to take care of the rap problem, just released them in the alleys.
And then that got too big. We got a bunch of foxes. And then what's next, Jordan?
Yeah. And then we're all the way to bears in the alleys. It doesn't stop. Can I go back just before I forget to say it? My biggest animosity of this movie is, do you remember the lack of packaging that the Chucky doll had?
Yeah. It's just a doll
really
in a
made me
box.
mad.
box.
Yeah.
What would you like to see? Styrofoam?
I don't know. Packing peanuts.
Yeah, packing peanuts.
I mean, just compare it to now. I mean, something
Yeah, you
to
gotta fight
fasten
to
it.
get it
Some,
open.
But isn't this better,
some
buddy?
zip ties.
Hey, we have way too much plastic. They were doing it better. I mean, granted, the products were probably scuffed and marked and covered in blood and lightning.
Yeah, there was
scorches,
just a box, a doll, and 2 D batteries.
batteries.
What an
now-
entitled
that was
piece
sweet.
of shit
I missed
Andy
that
was.
time.
And it should have been called batteries were included, not put in. Because they were.
Yeah, they were definitely included.
Yeah, they were definitely included.
Which
They were there.
shit on the homeless guy for
It was a big plot point.
A doll that was out of a box. He got a box with the battery still in it, even, and stuffed the doll in that. Like that's actually that homeless guy actually kind of hooked her up.
Yeah, what a nice hobo.
Okay, actually, let's also go back a little bit because how weird is it that during her break they're just super comfortable just bartering with a homeless camp outside of their office? Like maybe those two shouldn't be down there alone. That's
It's the
kind
West
of,
Loop.
It's kind of a
West
scary
Loop.
area. I mean, I worked downtown for
Cameron.
years, and thank God I didn't have that kind of situation to walk through.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to buy people Christmas presents.
That's true. It's
It's
hard to
the
be a single
80s.
mom in the 80s.
I did think about this. I kept thinking to myself, Reaganomics working, right? Working at a department store, living in the Brewster building, not too shabby.
All trickle down worked.
My bigger animosity about the whole just the whole department store thing is like, so she had to work, right? And she had to find someone to cover her shit. Like, why couldn't she get Maggie to cover her shift instead of Maggie staying?
Well, no,
with
it's an
her
even bigger snafu. They were making Karen cover somebody else's shift who works in the jewelry department. But Maggie's like, hey, I can cover this for Karen. She's got a kid. It's his birthday.
Oh, did I miss that?
And then the little dweeby boss is like, Maggie,
Don't you
you
care
work in the shoe department. You don't work in jewelry. So I don't know why. They just...
Also,
so they
Maggie
covered
doesn't even
that.
work there. She just hangs out.
Yeah, she's
No,
just
she works
making
there.
back alley deals. Legitimate back alley deals.
Why was Maggie so concerned that Karen gets the doll, and then once they were bartering with the gypsy, she was like, $30 is way too expensive. Why are we doing this? Like, you told her to go back there and buy this doll.
And it's way more expensive, so you're still getting a bargain, even with the blood marks. It's not bad.
Yeah, and again, let's defend this gypsy hobo. He included the batteries. He could have taken those for
Full
sure and done
packaging.
drug stuff with them. Whatever drug stuff you do with D batteries, he could have done.
So I do just want to say, comment, this movie does have some kind of comical things, obviously, with the doll and campy things of like little feet running by and little hands. But the first one in particular does have some creepy, generally kind of scary moments to it. I would say 1 through 3 of these original 80s ones, they do have the fun campiness, and they have like kind of, it's not as big as like Freddy and Nightmare for his lines, but it's definitely funnier. But
the genre, much like the Freddy Krueger, he gets so campy in the later ones, and then the reboot 90 ones.
well, that's the problem. And here's a good way to go about it.
So
If
this
you
one
want-
is much more grounded in fear. And like,
And
character
if you
development.
want to stick to those, all the Child's Plays are like that. When they switched to Chucky is when they were like, well, let's just lean into the camp and
Right.
the animatronics, and then it's just all out camp, which, it's not,
I kind of missed that. I was looking for a little song and dance, a little pony show. I haven't seen.
I
Child's
just watched
Play
Bride of
forever.
Chucky, and boy, howdy, if you want it.
I was
you
just about
can
to
get
ask,
it.
like, are they worth, like, which ones are worth watching? I
1,
haven't
2, and
seen
3.
any other ones
1,
besides.
2, and 3 are great. And then
not
I mean,
really
the newer ones just,
Is the remake good?
yeah, actually, the remake was pretty good. Reinvention of it. It wasn't terrible. It was a little
Sure.
more Simpsons, itchy and scratchy, robot-y, but it was still good.
I will say this. So going back to the original viewing of this,
Mm-hmm.
it would catch me by surprise if I even just saw a preview to how vulgar of a talker Chucky is once he fully becomes Robert E. Lee or whatever the fuck the guy's name is. What is his name?
Well, now you should.
Robert
Lee Ray, Charles Lee Ray.
Charles Lee Ray.
Charles Lee Ray.
Robert
Once
E.
his... Sorry, I got to take those out. Please make
No,
it
that's-
sound better
that's
than
funny.
that. Whenever he becomes better, I like Chucky when he gets vulgar and starts being mean
I love
to
that his
people.
first
I'm-
words like, you filthy slut.
Yeah, it goes
really
straight to
jumps out.
it goes straight to like a Freddy Krueger over the topness, which is it's fun. It's kind of fun.
You want to hear something funny? So I watched this. I recorded it from AMC, and they didn't edit anything, which I appreciate. Nice. Except when they said asshole, they edited it out whole. I'll never get it. That's happened time and time again with TV editing. I heard you, dirty little slut. You fucking bitch. I'm gonna murder you. All that stuff.
But just kept
asshole.
Whole.
Yeah,
it's
whole ass was there.
What
ass
hole
was there.
are they talking about?
Interesting.
Yeah,
they just don't like the visualization. Animosity. Granted, that babysitter Maggie got hit in the head with a hammer, but that person took a full running, like was a sprint and then jumped out that window.
It doesn't track.
Like I've never tripped that bad in my life where I've gained speed and height.
It's like as egregious when you see somebody who's obviously not about to do 3 black flips go to the gymnast that is. You're like, that just doesn't match. That just doesn't track at all. She it's like they did the different stuff. Yeah, it's just like that. That's about how bad it was. Because she got hit and then she was falling backwards, and I think she did turn forward in time to fall out of the window, but then she gave one of the like she leapt out.
She clearly hit like a springboard to go out of that thing. You can tell.
Do you know what I thought to myself? Again, this is unverified. I believe she fell on like a Toyota truck.
Sure, no make or model.
That is just like 1987 Toyota. I don't know. What I'm saying is though that I did think of this.
My car.
You finally think you got a good parking spot in the city, and then you come back. Oh, god damn it! I'm
a little curious about like how exactly the cops got there. Did Andy call? Did someone just clearly see the hole in the window and then they knocked on the door?
Megs and I talked about that. We assumed that after a dead body fell out of somewhere and crashed on that Toyota 4Runner.
So she was very much alive when she fell out.
They just looked up and like, I guess we got to check out floor 5.
Okay. I mean, he's
did have
very
a question,
resourceful.
though.
He can take the CTA. He probably knows the number for 911. My aunt
Chucky
fell out the window.
Well, did you see how he made his breakfast? Jesus Christ.
That's true. That's true.
Jesus Christ.
That is that an animosity or like? I can't tell. I was pissed and delighted.
I used to add
Let's
sugar
talk about
to
Andy
my
a little
cereal, but I mean, one spoon's enough.
Little piece of shit got some nice Aeropostale jeans, and he wants
butter.
He wants the buddy doll.
Oh yeah, that scoop of butter. God,
the butter.
Scoop of butter is an understatement. It did. This movie should be called Latchkey Children, and this is the problems you're going to run into: possessed dolls, dealing with dead babysitters / aunts. It's unreal.
I don't like that Karen started calling it Chucky right along with him right away. Like,
well,
they just named it.
Well, I mean, he said his name. He said his name was Chucky.
Okay, fair.
Here's a little. People get on board between Karen, Andy, and the cop. They all realize Chucky's possessed pretty early on. They're like, I guess we're in it now.
No, just those two. I mean, really, it's just his partner, the cop at the end, that is also in it. Anyone else that figures it out dies.
No, I know, but I'm just saying for like the main 3 people in the movie, right. There's not that much disbelief. Oh god,
would you have liked it if they kept that suspense of is it Andy, is it not, or do you like that we just know? Do you like it or not?
No, it's fine that we know. It's just surprising that the 3 main characters, the mom finds it out right away, and then the cop, and they're all kind of.
I think it ruins the suspense a little bit just knowing that there's a doll around. Like it's the doll. Like how do you build suspense?
Because it could have been Andy.
Well, so that's my biggest question.
And not the doll, and he's a psycho. That would have been the.
See, that would have been a cool.
That would have been the.
That would have been a fun.
Well, that was
twist.
the whole thing. They were trying to build suspense a little bit with at the very beginning with the shoes and stuff, but then we just immediately get off it. But that would have been more of the movie.
I, in general, don't like kid actors, and this kid's no exception. But you guys think that he had some good reactions?
He did some good scared acting. He's not great all the time, but some of it's
only
good.
The part in the jail,
yeah,
like in the psych ward or wherever he was.
I'll agree with that.
I did think to myself, though, what a safe place to be. Just stay there, Andy. And I'm saying even if there's no possessed jobs, it's a dangerous house for you. I didn't like the home situation myself.
So
it seemed dangerous.
I have an animosity.
I assume it's a horrible neighborhood.
I have an animosity that goes into a question. Number 1, animosity. That doll would never kill me. I would fuck that thing up. Worst case, it would slash at my calves as I stomp it to death and eventually crush its heart. But then I guess that goes into questions.
You're just trying to say you could kill a 6-year-old kid?
Yeah. That thing is so, like, it's a stuffed doll. Like, so it would really have to get a jump on me.
This doll is possessed, but we see how many times the adult full-grown people throw it 10 feet away and just let it come back and stab him in
What's
the
also
shin
hilarious
again.
is every time they drop it always rolls perfectly under a couch.
Oh, solid roller, though. That might be my
He
favorite
always
part.
tucks and rolls perfectly, just to the shadows.
The tucker
He is
and roller.
wiry. That roll is pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. Okay, also, this leads into a question, but like, so does Chucky have like human strength? Because like he's strangling humans like in the car with like Mike and the cop. Like he's just a doll hanging his weight. He should be able to.
Even if he does have, and I don't know how
He's got
big the
Robert
guy.
E. Lee strength.
Okay.
If he's got Robert E. Lee strength, that guy's probably like
Charles
5'7".
Ray. Okay, whatever. Ray Lee or Lee Ray or
Charles Lee Ray. He's got his strength, but he's still
Carly Rae
that.
Jepsen.
well, she's also
very
very
wrong.
frail and small.
Okay, so let's say they have the strength of a grown man, but it's still in the frame of a 2-foot doll.
Well, that's a chimpanzee.
The leverage just isn't there. Oh, Cameron, a chimpanzee has the strength of 1,000,000 men. That's not what we're saying here. If Chucky has the strength of a chimpanzee, that is a different.
Well, I'm just saying
if he has chimpanzee strength, then yeah, that's different.
That's what I'm equating it to. That's what that is in my mind almost.
Yeah, pound for pound,
Yeah.
Chucky, I mean, he's...
Okay, so then it's a little
Fuck
more
yeah.
fierce, but I'm pretty sure I could still stomp him pretty easily. Before, like he might
Like a
get
punt.
one calf, but then I'm gonna grab him.
It's like they're begging him to cut your shins and calves.
Yeah.
They're just being so nonchalant about this doll. Once they get him off him, the first of once Chucky charges you and you're like, "Get off me, you little fucking doll!"
Glad
you're like,
that's
"Oh,
over.
good, that's
Well,
done."
like the cop,
Let's forget about that
the cop in
immediately.
particular, when Chucky's just like circling the car and like messing with him, as soon as he shoots him once and he sees him like ha ha ha, like run off and just he like sighs
Okay,
like he's
that
like
whole-
all done with that.
That entire car assault is confusing because I'm like, the brakes have got to be cut. Oh wait, they're not. Like what?
Why does he keep
I know
speeding
that.
up?
Yeah, just stop the
There's
car.
like
fucking
what?
car.
There's a
Stop
moment
the
where
fucking
Chucky
car.
climbs under and hits the gas, but like that's after
There is that one moment.
Yeah,
Yes. What about all the other moments in that 10-minute?
How is Chucky
don't know what
getting
to
under
call the
there
car
with a
scare.
knife, too? Like, how's he getting under the car seat with that much leverage?
He doesn't have those long of arms. He can't reach and be stabbing
And we've
up.
also seen the dexterity of that little shitty hand when it's opening the door. He shouldn't have the grip strength to do that, let alone get through that vinyl seating.
I do like how he grips one finger at a time. Like he does this just to let us show. I don't know how to
Just so
do that.
everybody knows that we have full mechanical control of this doll. Look what we can do.
Low man wins in football. That's what they always say.
That is true. That is true. So, okay, outside of not stopping the car, eventually slamming on the brakes, rolling it over, and then shooting Chucky, he just doesn't get out of the damn
Yeah.
car. You're like only trapped by your own
Yeah, if you
stupidity.
get out of the car-
Get out of the car and
Yeah,
stand
you'll be
up.
able to see him coming from meters away, have time to kick
Everywhere.
him. Just kick him when he gets near you.
Also, he's just
Kick him as
firing
much-
willy-nilly shots out into the public.
Oh yeah, at the beginning of the movie too. They're just shooting right into the public. They don't care. I mean, granted, it's it's like the bums downtown, Mark. They don't care.
This is definitely one of the movies I have not seen the beginning of ever, maybe. But there's an action-packed,
Yeah.
I would say kindergarten cop level action scene at the beginning of this movie. You're like, where did that come
Got
from?
cut down. There
And the
used to be a
sparks
moment
and the
where they were
guns.
in disguise and drag, and at the beginning of the movie, you can see the cop throwing a dress to the side because I guess that was an original plot point that got cut.
Okay, I'll give you my last animosity about how ignorant everybody is to Chucky just being around and stabbing him. Even after they think Chucky's dead, Karen and the cop, they just leave Andy in the room like alone sitting
No,
there.
they sent him
just
to
go
get
out
a
and do
first
whatever.
aid kit. They're like, Andy, go off by yourself in the dark and
You
get
got
first
this.
aid. Yeah, you don't leave that kid out of your sight. You're right. He was in danger before the doll got there.
I'd say they're neglectful, but that might just be parenting in the 80s.
Yeah, you got this.
Toughen them up a little bit. You got this,
No
kid.
one batted an eye at him on the CTA, so probably, yeah.
That's
I
true.
do want to say, this kid's going to be fucked up forever because the Chucky doll, trying to kill him and coming alive and stuff. But I'm going to say he's going to be maybe more messed up by him watching that doctor get electrocuted to death and his eyes bleeding. That's another scene where that kid had good acting when he's slowly backing away, freaked out. That's going to stick with that kid.
Yeah, that's scarier than the Chucky doll because that was like real life. That wasn't. That was a real man dying in front of you.
Slowly
There was no
burning
voodoo
to death
magic
in front of you by electricity. I mean, Maggie, he might have heard a crash, but he didn't see anything.
What was Doc trying to do? Was he going to give him a tranquilizer?
Oh yeah, he was gonna trank him out.
Put him down.
I'm not saying that the doc deserved completely that, but he deserved a little shock. I'm sure he did a little shocking himself to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm sure he got a little comeuppance there. Maybe not all the way, but that guy deserved sort of what he got, right?
Sure.
No, I mean,
Okay, nope. Just
He didn't understand what was happening. He didn't know. He thought. I mean, most times it isn't the paranormal soul being transferred into a doll.
even at the end, the cop is like, "Who's gonna believe me?" Like, there's still. I don't know what happens in the second movie, but are we just accepting this as the truth?
I have a bigger animosity. That cop's partner comes in with that mom holding a gun at him after hearing plenty of shots, and his reaction is so calm, being like, hey, relax. That's almost like Keanu Reeves telling the guy in Speed, "Hey, I'm not a cop. You'll never go to jail now." Like, no, things are pretty bad in here, and you're going to get shot in the face when you walk in there.
Do yourself guys a favor, go back and listen to our episode on Speed.
And if you don't want to, just go back and watch Speed. It's a great movie.
Yeah, watch Speed and go back and listen to our Point Break while you're at it.
But that cop, that partner is so calm about the whole thing. Even when the Chucky doll comes to life, kind of, he's just calm about it.
Yeah, but he does ignore the rule to. His partner said, "Don't touch that fucking doll.
Totally
don't touch it at all." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna dribble it and do some skeet."
It's like during COVID, that one player that's like licking the mics and stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's Rudy Gobert, the birthplace of of the pandemic. Yeah, I remember.
But
I won't remember him as a basketball player, but I'll remember him as a birthplace of COVID.
My last comment is just like going off what we said. This family will not be able to explain this. They're going to be torn apart. Like, there's a lot of bodies in their wake and no explanations.
I'm shocked that in this 3-day period that they even fixed the window.
Did they?
Well, I assume so.
I guess they don't show it. I imagine that's a garbage bag duct tape situation for a couple months.
It's probably Andy's clothes or something he
desperately
held
needs.
Dear to himself.
Well, no more bed sheets,
like the
Andy.
sheets on his bed. Well, luckily though he was institutionalized, so you know he could use his mattress or something. I actually do have a big animosity about the end of the movie. Once Chucky catches fire, you see how absolutely easy it is just to hold the I don't know what you call the hearth, the grate, She just lets it go and lets Chucky run all over her apartment.
Well, at that point, it is a blazing fire, and he's like up against it. So
what I'm saying is, it's like just wait till he burns himself out. Okay, whatever. Say he gets loose. That's fine.
Should just try to throw a log in there too, like that's going to help the smoldering.
Or just throw the log in. Yeah, just beat him while this is happening. Like, don't give up. Don't let the fire be the only thing.
What I'm most mad about is Chucky, while engulfed in flames, runs over to their couch, and that couch doesn't immediately. He sits on their carpet and the couch, and then he just burns out quietly in the corner on carpet. I'm like, oh, I'm glad we avoided that.
I know a lot's been going on, but
that apartment would be.
I know a lot's been going on, but from Karen and Andy's perspective, I'd say, well, but mostly Karen, like, no, like trying to get him away from the couch, and like, oh shit, the carpet.
Oh my God, not the couch.
And that whole apartment was carpet almost. God, yeah, terrible.
God, thinks if that couch went down, luckily she'd have to go to get some back alley deal and pay God knows what for.
Well, they're not
a haunted couch.
They're not just going to let them. They're not going to let them stay in the apartment anymore either. The neighbors, she shot through the floor. She's probably killed the neighbor's dog.
Well, I don't know what happens when people are carted to jail, Mark, but yeah, they're definitely going to have to get their possessions out of that apartment because that kid's a murderer and the mom's an accomplice.
Oh, sorry, I did forget to mention that not only does she have a 7-room apartment, she has a fireplace.
Yeah.
What?
What? Crazy.
Good point.
Like a 6th-floor fireplace in the
what are the
classic Brewster building? I don't even know. I don't know. Check that out. Oh, here's a little trickle down. Chucky got left in the elevator, and then there was an older couple that rides up on there. I'm pretty sure that the man was not an actor. The woman was an actor, but the guy acted completely natural. He's like, just leave that goddamn doll there. Let's get out of here. Like, that's not our problem. That is the way to handle that. Like, don't worry about that fucking doll. That's not our problem.
The movie.
That's exactly right.
That's Team
not
B.
Our goddamn problem.
That's Team B.
That is Team B move. Hey, and you live to live another day. Let me just give
I just have a round ender question, really. So if Michael, Jason, and Freddy Krueger are kind of like the three heads on the there's four heads on Mount Rushmore. Who's the last head? Who's the Teddy Roosevelt of that Mount Rushmore?
It's probably Chucky.
Is it Chucky or is it like Leatherface?
No, I mean if we're gonna
Ghostface?
I think it would go either Freddy or Michael as the big two, and then then. Well, sorry,
Jason.
I meant to say Jason or Michael, then Freddy, then Chucky is I think how I would. That's how it would play out in a Hot Topic and or Spencer's Gift.
Because I think solely because they're like the 80s, 70s horror movies.
Okay.
I think maybe nowadays you might throw Ghostface on there because it's such a franchise.
True. Yep.
But he's not like the OG that those other four are.
Okay, no, that's...
And for whatever reason, Leatherface isn't mainstream enough, and the other ones are.
Just not as many movies, I don't think. I mean, just didn't. They didn't get.
I mean, there's enough movies. I just don't think it has like.
Whereas
the mainstream...
Halloween and like Fred, these all had like 7, 8. Whereas like
I think it's a toss up between Ghostface and Chucky for me, at least. Subjective, obviously.
Let us know what you think out there should have made it onto the Mount Rushmore. Go on, Jordan. Sorry.
I also think that Chucky's the look of the doll is so iconic that it would make it up.
That's true. Iconic. I mean, the look has a lot to do with it. Urban legend. It's not a cool enough costume.
No.
Cameron,
I got that costume in my closet. I absolutely hate when Chucky runs into his voodoo mentor, that the voodoo guy doesn't just come up with a lie on the spot to save his life.
Big animosity, yelling, "I'm going to end you," and then running like for a weapon is not the way to go. You should maybe just use some magic to kill him.
Yeah, lie and do some voodoo magic, dipshit.
Pretty big animosity.
He should have ended Chucky right there. It really, really irritated me. I wouldn't say he got what was coming to him, but he kind of got what was coming to him.
Well, he did, because he taught him this magic.
Yeah.
So, like,
that's true. Yeah, it's a fool me once type situation. All right, anyway, moving on to recasting.
Welcome to recasting. Let's start low like we always do. Who'd you do for Maggie, the babysitter?
I did. I'll go first. I did the faculties in Jumanji's BB Newworth. She's the aunt in Jumanji and the principal.
I kind of like that. Way to go back and check out our episodes of those. But way to get her in there. That's a rando. So good not using one of the typicals. Jordan, who'd you do?
Yeah.
Check out the faculty and Jumanji. I went always a bridesmaids, never a bride, Judy Greer, the friend.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, I can go with that.
I don't know if you
Maggie
can see.
was kind of no, I can't see it at all.
But we know what
we know what you're talking about. Maggie was kind of funnier, so I just went for something different. Catherine Hahn, she goes in serious and funny things, so she could just be kind of a little lighthearted in a scary movie.
Seeing her fall out of a window would be kind of funny. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd do great. What about Mike, the cop? Mine's a very look-alike. I did Peter Gallagher.
I've got 3 lookalikes, and he's one of them, so I'll take him off my list.
Okay.
I also kind of went look-alike, too. I did Mark Ruffalo.
Okay. Take him off. No, I didn't have him on my list. Okay, I'm going to do Billy Zane then.
Interesting. I'm fine with all of ours, honestly. All those work for me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times in movies like this, it could be anybody. I went looks like.
Let's
Billy Zane.
Do you want my last one?
Sure.
I went Adrian Grenier. Vince from Entourage. There you go.
He's not a good actor. Yeah, I like him, but he's not a good actor. Andy, kid actor. I kind of hate kid actors. This could be anyone, so I just threw Haley Joel Osment, scary movie kid actor who could do good. But
nice, good call.
But I mean, I use it for
Eric Lloyd from the Santa Claus.
Oh, okay, that's another
kind of definitely thought about him.
Right haircut, right time.
I just copy and pasted Danny Loud from The Shining.
Okay,
he plays Danny Torrance. Just a dumb kid who deserves to get killed.
How about Karen, the mom?
Wouldn't mind it if he wasn't.
Because I did the Catherine Hahn thing.
What are we doing?
Karen, the mom. Because I did Maggie, Catherine Hahn, I kept it another like comedic actor mostly who does some serious things sometimes. Kristen Wiig.
Ooh, that could work. I never think of Kristen
me either.
Wiig.
I mean, she did do that serious movie where
Skeleton Twins or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, she's done some serious stuff since. And
wasn't she in one of the Wonder Woman's movies?
Yeah, she was in 1985.
I did another 80s, 90s moms. I did the mom from Growing Pains, Joanna Kearns.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's probably the route I should have gone instead. I don't know. I tried modernizing it. I think the new one incepted me kind of.
I did Julie Bowen from Modern Family. She's the mom.
Yeah, that's better than mine. Everyone's just doing sitcom moms, and that makes way more sense.
Sitcom moms.
Yeah, I messed up. Go back and see our episode of Happy Gilmore.
Did we do Happy Gilmore?
I think so.
I don't think we did.
Who can say? Now on to the titular character.
Stay tuned to our Happy Gilmore.
So are you just doing the voice? Yeah.
I just did voice.
I mainly did voice, but I can do the body for this. I'm just going to throw mine out there. I want to hear Paul Giamatti's voice yelling things and being aggressive. Okay. And I can even see him being a grimy criminal at the beginning.
He can be a grimy criminal. I like it better as the grimy criminal than the voice. No, it works. It's fine. The voice isn't anything like spectacular or like anything like...
It's rough and just
could be anybody.
Urban, like New York-ish, kind of Chicago-y.
Jack Nicholas. Which one's the golfer? Which one's the actor?
I thought about it. Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I thought about that too. Another just fun, angry voice that could just be...
Mine's kind of dumb, but I thought of two funny ones. I thought of Bobcat Goldthwait.
Okay. Go see our...
That was mainly...
Go see Scrooged.
Did we do Scrooge?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
We did Scrooge. We did it last year.
I don't think we did. I'm pretty sure we didn't.
Can say anymore.
Anyway, stay tuned for... Anyway, so I thought that was more of a looks like because he kind of looks similar to the actor at the beginning.
Okay.
But I thought it'd be really funny to do Alec Baldwin because we know he leaves such vicious voicemails. Like, you stupid fat cow. Like, come on. He's already got it in him.
Okay. Interesting. Let us know what you thought of our recap.
And then obviously everybody just thought Danny DeVito.
No, I don't. I never do. Just you two.
Okay. All right.
Let us know what you thought of our recasting this week. But we're going to move on to a couple of what ifs here. These were all people who were also up for the role of Chucky: John Lithgow, Gary Oldman.
Weird. Gary Oldman probably could have worked.
And Andrew Divoff. Andrew Divoff. I'm not too sure who that one is, but I could actually see. Possibly Andrew DeVoe. I could see either John Lithgow or Gary Oldman playing it.
I couldn't take John Lithgow's voice. It would piss me off so much.
He plays a murderer on Dexter for like a season. He's like one of the main bad guys.
Yeah, but he still uses his voice, right?
Yep.
To
his
isolate
name is
that.
escaping me. Zazu from Lion King.
Oh,
I mean, John Oliver? Not Zazu. No, sorry. He's talking about Iago.
You're talking about Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey.
R.I.P. Gilbert Godfrey. Should we move it on to Mount Rushmore? Top 4.
Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Welcome back to Mount Rushmore. This week we're doing inanimate objects that come to life. I'm going first this week, and honestly, I have a pretty big list. I'm not too sure what I want to go for. I'm going to throw it out to like a childhood classic for me. I'm going to go Babes in Toyland, the Keanu Reeves and Drew Barrymore version. Santa's in that. They have all the toys that come to life at the end, and just other things are alive in there as well. But used to watch that all the time as a kid.
I'm glad you went sort of the nostalgia route, because I'm going somewhere similar. Jordan, though?
Okay, so it's not necessarily nostalgia, but it's definitely not a horror movie, and I know there's a bevy. I don't know if that's the right term of those. Yeah. I'm going to go Night at the Museum.
Oh, nice.
It's one of my favorites.
That was definitely up on my top 4. I didn't know if we were going to say it. Go check out our Night at the Museum episodes. That we definitely did.
We definitely did that. And then there'll be, when we get to honorable mentions, I'll have questions and be like, was this inanimate? Did this happen? Okay, whatever. Okay. But Night at the Museum, they definitely were inanimate and were brought to life.
Nice.
Mark?
Indian in the Cupboard.
Oh, I did think about
somebody said it. I'm glad somebody said it.
I was thinking about it. That's a childhood classic for sure for us. Now possibly a little culturally questionable, but who can say anymore?
Culturally questionable. Also, as I was writing down my list, what's the moral of that story? What are we to take from that?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in so long.
I think most lessons are just don't fuck with magic, Jordan.
Okay, that's it. It wasn't like we're insensitive to Native Americans. It's like just don't mess with that closet.
Yeah, something like that. I really don't remember, honestly.
I liked those. We didn't go too chalky on our picks.
A little older.
Okay.
So for that, let's move it on to honorable mentions. I'm going to throw out another nostalgia, Brave Little Toaster. Mostly just the
Brave Little Toaster.
Just the first one.
I did think about that one for sure.
Watch that a ton. I mean, if we want to go just classic, Pinocchio. I mean, just puppet turn into a boy.
Toy Story, yeah, Pinocchio, Toy
Story, Beauty and the Beast.
Modern one for you, animated Seth Rogen, Sausage Party, the food one.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Meg. She's like, "What about Sausage Party?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I did have a question. So I know there's a lot of people are gonna be like, "What about this? What about this?" Like Cars.
Yeah,
I think of all the characters
are.
Okay.
Well, no, they're not. Are they?
I put cars.
Oh, they
I did
are.
put cars and airplanes on it, but if
I say
not
the
everyone's
difference
in
though
on it-
is like, no, I'm saying that all the cars those are the characters.
Okay.
Whereas Toy Stories, there's humans and inanimate objects. You
In
know
the
what I mean?
audience, are they all cars? And like with the
I think so, right?
yeah,
I think so.
yeah,
Okay.
so-
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that when you make characters
When the
out of
universe
objects
is-
like that,
Yeah. So no.
I got one for you. Then keeping it cars, Christine, keeping it also scary and horror.
Ooh, forgot about that one.
Also,
Yeah, definitely.
it was something to love bug.
Killdozer.
Huey the love bug.
Yeah, you got that.
The Transformers don't count.
No, because they're their own species. They're not animatic. How about this? Monster House. Go back and listen to our Monster
Oh yeah, that'll
House.
count. The whole house is moving. Yeah, that totally works.
Herbie
If
the
we
Love
want to go
Bug,
the
sorry.
Disney route, we have Beauty and the Beast.
Yep, Beauty and the Beast.
And then I don't think this is maybe DreamWorks, but Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball. In the end, some of that food stuff turns alive.
yeah, I saw that, but I couldn't remember the movie enough to want to bring it up. How about this? This one I didn't bring up, but Little Shop of Horrors.
The plant
Starts off as a regular plant, and then it kind of becomes like mutated.
Maybe, yeah, that's more of a creature feature kind of maybe, but maybe.
Oh, and obviously, it plays off of this, but the Ted.
Yeah, yeah.
Seth
that
MacFarlane's
that
Ted
definitely
together.
fits on there.
It's funny when we come up with ideas for Mount Rushmore. You're like, oh, this is going to be a deep category. And then I thought to myself on this one, I'm like, there can't be that much, can there?
Turns out there's a ton.
This is the deepest category we've ever had,
There was
man.
a lot to pick from. Let us know some of your favorite inanimate objects coming to life in movies. Thanks for listening to our take on Child's Play. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate and review. If you want more content out there, check out everything from the Majestic Jam Network, Urban Hermit, Cult Classics Podcast, and I'm Not Crazy. Until then, we'll check you on the next one. Bye.
Bye. Bye.